for that nice introduction. Actually, it's not me who's positioning 50-year-olds as old people. I think it's more like the dating services that make dating sites for 50-plus online daters and thereby position themselves as a specific groups that has specific needs. I've been invited to this event because online dating seems like a nice way of connecting older people. But what I'm actually going to tell you about is how older people in online dating are confronted with the sometimes limiting ideas we have about older age. I want to introduce you to one of my respondents to show you how common stereotypes that we have, like for example, I thought online daters who are older would always think or would always present themselves in a more moderate way than their younger counterparts, stressing their desire for companionship over their desire for sex, seeking partners for walks on the beach rather than partners for Himalaya hiking tours. I thought that's what it means to be older. So this respondent that I want to introduce to you, Julia, that's what I'm going to call her for this presentation, she surprised me in many ways, and I hope she will surprise you. Julia is in her early 60s, but what she claims to be in her online dating profile is that she's 49. So she's heavily lying about her age. And one might easily think, wow, that's quite deceptive. That's what we're afraid of when we start doing online dating, that somebody deceives us in this way. But by explaining why she does so, I think Julia makes a very nice point about how we think about older age and how this limits us indeed. So what she says is, I am heavily lying about my age because I would only be contacted by 80-year-olds otherwise. I might be over 60, but A, I'm in the prime of my life, B, I'm agile and sporty, C, I look quite good, especially for my age, and D, also in my daily life I come across as much younger so that even close acquaintances do not believe me my age. Julia is doing some interesting things here. First of all, she points us to the ways in which being older limits, especially women, because she's one, in online dating. And what is limiting her is the meaning of her chronological age, and I'm going to explain you that now. What Julia tells me is that being 60 comes as a stigma. Julia told me that she once tried online dating as a 60-year-old woman, which is quite funny, of course, because she is. So what she did is she went online with by indicating her real age and with very nice pictures of herself that were recent. What happened actually is that she was only contacted by very few men, and those who did contact her did not believe her age. They thought that she mistyped it. When she told them that this was not true, that she was actually 60, they lost interest. That's at least what she tells me. And some other men did from the beginning believe that she was lying to them or deceiving them by uploading pictures that are from her past. So what Julia says is that actually the truth is that men, no matter how old they are, choose 49 as the limit of their search parameter. So they are only looking for women up to 49, and that's why women above 50 almost have to lie about their age if they want to find somebody in their own age range. What is interesting here is that Julia's story shows us that being 60 is not actually her problem. The problem is what it means to be 60. And she tells another very interesting story here, because she was bothered by that fact that women only look for younger women. She actually asked them why they do so, and what they told her is that that they just would not be interested in women above 50 because they come across as aged and not sexy. So remember, those men she asked were in their 60s themselves. Still, they found that women of that kind wouldn't, or of their same age, would not be attractive to them. What you can clearly see here, how just this number limits Julia, and this is why she chooses to perform a different age. She's not acting 60, she's acting more youthfully. Still, while positioning herself as youthful, Julia is reinstalling the negative meaning that is connected to being over 60 at the same time. Julia draws upon two dominant cultural scripts about the meaning of older age when she presents herself to me. One is the narrative of progress and one the narrative of decline. Narratives of progress, that means that we are told by advertisements, for example, that we actually can age successfully or even should age successfully by being active, so our body and mind to stay youthful, and if we only use the right anti-aging products, this will certainly work out. The other one, narratives of decline, rather positions older people as being subjected to inevitable loss and decline. And now I'm going to show you how Julia indeed enacts those two narratives. Julia clearly identifies herself as being youthful, not only in this quote, but also more generally. She leaves the impression that she's active, good-looking, healthy. She's affluent as far as I can detect and travels a lot. So given that she looks younger, acts younger, and is mentally younger than women in their 60s are expected to be, nobody believes her age, even if she tells them how old she is. She even tells me that men who do think she's 49 give her compliments for coming across as much younger. So I think by repeatedly proving to me that she's actually coming across as so much younger, she conforms to this cultural imperative that we should stay young, or at least as young as possible. Julia carefully constructs her way of being youthful against narratives of decline. This negative meaning, like being asexual, being aged, is implicit in her quote. It means to have passed the prime of life. It means to be less attractive, less active and sporty. So Julia positions herself as youthful by comparing her way of being to what it commonly means to be 60, and thereby reinstalls this norm. What becomes clear is that Julia's way of presenting herself is again not a result of her chronological age, of being 60 in any essential way. Rather, it is by her repetition of dominant scripts that she constitutes the meaning of her age. So what I think Julia's example shows is that how, by understanding age in chronological terms, by assuming that somebody who is 60 has to be a certain way, by understanding age as something that we are in any essential way, we limit people, or we are also limited ourselves. Thinking age in chronological terms simply doesn't account for the way we act our age in online dating or also in everyday life. So I would like to suggest to think of age in terms of performativity, as something that we do, as something, basically, I think that this allows us to see how the meanings of old age are established and constructed through our culturally scripted performance of age. Julia makes a very interesting suggestion. When I ask her how she thinks dating services might improve to meet the needs of over 50s in online dating, and I think this is also her way of improving her possibilities for connection. What she says is that maybe online dating services should ask their members to indicate an age range, such as between 40 and 50 or any other one, in the profile, rather than asking them to reveal their exact age. This would certainly, as she says, increase people's chances. I think what Julia is aiming at is that doing away with the exact age would free people from being associated with the limiting meanings of chronological age. Instead, their age could only be judged by the ways they perform it. Interestingly, I think this is what happens when you're dating offline, right? So here's the dating service by asking people to indicate an exact age that also contributes to limiting them. I would actually like to leave you with this suggestion, and maybe you could try to think how, apart from online dating, your chronological age, whenever you ask to give it, might limit you as well. And then I would also like to ask you whether you have ever lied about your age, and I would love to discuss your answers during the breaks. Thank you very much.